So many people draw inspiration from movies and some of their favorite heroes, like the tale of Beowulf, which inspired many other famous movies and stories about good conquering evil. The classic tale of, the knight that rises to the occasion. And as believers, you have to realize that you're in the life-saving business. You're not in the life-taking business, because our God is not a God of death. He's a God of life, and He's a life giver. When He gives you blessings, He gives you life. This is why people pray to be healed, and they pray to overcome, affliction and diseases, because these things are all of sin, and therefore of the devil. Everything that leads to death, every sin leads to death. And there is not a sin that does not lead unto death, as it says in the Word. But if you're in the life-giving business with Jesus, as He came to bring life and not death, He came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill, then you have to realize His mission was to save the world, to give life to all, not just some, but all, as He came not to save the righteous, but the sinners, and everyone is a sinner. And He said, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because He hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, and to preach deliverance to the captives, the recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, and to preach the acceptable year of the Lord." So if anyone is looking for Jesus and serving Jesus as they wait for His return, then they already have an inheritance laid up, and they're already seated in heavenly places, as it says. And we have a great cloud of witnesses in heaven. So as a believer, you have to realize that your job here is to do as much good as you can. Like God warned His prophets not to do any wrong, but He gave them specific instructions that they would have to follow. And this is what our works will be judged according to their value. When all of our works are tried in the fire and refined, as we're being refined, then you have to realize that this is what is happening. And Jesus said, if you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. See, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever commits sin is a servant of sin, and the servant abides not in the house forever, but the Son abides forever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. So anyone that is a servant of God is no longer considered a servant, but a friend, it says in the Word. And if you're a servant of righteousness, then you'll be rewarded for righteousness, given even the crown of life to the believers. But if you're whoever sins and take pleasure in sin is a servant of sin, and the servant of that master, which is sin and death, does not abide in the house forever, but the Son will abide forever, because He has conquered sin and death. He has conquered the grave. So this is the same hope of every believer, is that while we wait, we have to look up, for our redemption draws nigh, as we wait for the glorious appearing to witness the adoption of our bodies from the flesh. And the flesh can only do so much, as Jesus said, could you not pray with me for an hour? Could you not wait for 1 hour and pray with me? But you see, the spirit is weak, but the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. So if your spirit is corrupt by the flesh of the nature of the flesh, then you're already condemned. Just like if you don't believe in the finished work of the gospel, if you don't believe Jesus is who He said He was, then you're already condemned. And Jesus won't judge you for that, but He will judge you on the bema seat. He'll judge everyone according to what we have done and said. So that's what matters, is that if you're a believer, then you have to work to save lives, and to look for security, not in this life, in this world, but security from above, which is only through Jesus.